Okay, very good. So welcome to CSL Boulder Valley. Pat and Howard, a special welcome to you. Thank you for being here.
We
CSL
can't see you, but
Now we can. There's
there she is.
Pat.
Hi,
Woo!
Pat.
Hi, Pat. Welcome. Very good. Yeah. Thank you for being here. This is what I call Zoom church, a jargon for what we do three Sundays a month. CSL Boulder Valley's been around for over 20 years now, and some people that are showing up, I think, have been here for as long as CSL Boulder Valley's been around. So thank you all for continuing to support this amazing organization. CSL is powerful throughout the planet, and specifically CSL in Boulder Valley is a beautiful organization. So thank you for being here. Kathy Nunemaker, would you please pray us in?
I will. Okay, settling into the divine presence. Bringing our breath in to center us into knowing that right now, right here, is exactly where we need to be. It is where we will be inspired by James's message and for each other in our conversation after. I am so grateful for this time together, for knowing that we are a community, the community that's connected in love, a community that's connected with the divine, knowing that our CSL principles are what we live with for every day, knowing that this is exactly what we need to be doing. I want to send gratitude to each person on this call right now. I want to send gratitude out to all those who were not able to make it, all those that are part of our community, and their friends and relations, knowing that each person is a divine message from God, this divineness that connects us all. And seeing that God within in each person brings us into the center of who we are, each one of us. It is with great gratitude that I release this prayer and say, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Kathy. That was extraordinary. I'm going to go ahead and start the screen share. One moment. Let me do this. Okay, share sound. Talking to myself, sort of remember to do all the steps. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. Our first slide is Karen Carr singing a beautiful song. And Catherine created this video to go along with it. So this is our musical intro, if you will.
This is our place, come on in. Our place, so glad you're here. Our place, everybody's welcome. We see God on every face. Love lives here in this place. Welcome to our place, our sweet place.
Welcome to CSL Boulder Valley. Happy Juneteenth and Independence Day. Juneteenth, June 19th, was made a federal holiday in 2021. And this honors the determination, courage, and bravery of African Americans and celebrates the triumphs that are still unfolding. It feels important to me that we honor not only Independence Day, but Juneteenth as well. Eleanor Roosevelt talked about it this way. True patriotism springs from a belief in the dignity of the individual, freedom, and equality, not only for Americans, but for all people on earth, universal brotherhood and goodwill, and a constant striving toward the principles and ideals on which this country was founded. I read this and I got goosebumps. This is a powerful speaking. Eleanor is including all people. She's honoring all people. And this felt like a good fit for a Centers for Spiritual Living talk. This talk is titled Goodness Unfolding. And it was in the 1920s or 30s that Ernest Holmes wrote a declaration of principles. It's usually called What We Believe. And I think there's 11 of them. And I chose several of them that I wanted to share with you as a foundation for taking a look at what is goodness and how does it show up in our life. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. All the good in the universe has already been given and is waiting to be discovered. As goodness is realized, discord disappears. Holmes felt that one's true essence is goodness, wholeness, and truth, and that people operate within a law of nature which is impersonal. No one can rob us of our own soul, and our spirit is already one with the eternal goodness. Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. Mary Oliver. So as human beings, one of the things that we tend to do is we tend to be cynical and resigned. This is kind of an automatic or a go-to way of being. And often it's deep programming from our family, religion, culture, etc. And as adults and as kids too, we often have a metaphorical backpack, and we tend to stuff density or low vibration or low consciousness into that backpack and carry it around with us. And as we age, we tend to kind of slump over more, and that backpack gets heavier and heavier. And one of the exquisite pieces of Centers for Spiritual Living is the education that takes place, the different classes that are offered, the talks that are given. One of the things we get to do is we get to take that metaphorical backpack off and turn it over and shake it out. We get to shake out things like Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. See, that's cynicism and resignation. This process of taking the backpack off, sometimes we need to open the backpack up and look inside and see what's in there. We need to do some work. Maybe pull the things out, take a look at them. Oh, is this resignation and cynicism? Is this what I want to live my life from? See, having a practice that embraces the principles of the Centers for Spiritual Living is a beautiful way to reprogram and invite forward the internal light and love. See, we've got that metaphorical backpack, but we also have this core essence of love and light at the depths of who we are. That exquisite beauty that all human beings have at our core can be invited forward as we let go of cynicism and resignation. All the good in the universe has already been given and is waiting to be discovered. Eckhart Tolle talks about it this way: get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. As goodness is realized, discord disappears. Once again, this is Mary Oliver. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride, married to amazement. I was the bridegroom, taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wander. I don't want to wonder if I've made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Several months ago, I was taking a walk around my neighborhood, and up ahead of me, a car drove up, and obviously a grandma and a grandpa and a grandchild get out of it. And I give them a cheery, "Good morning." Grandpa says, "Hi, how you doing?" And as soon as I say good morning, this little 6-year-old boy, he's about 6 years old, he trots up to me. He almost runs. He trots up to me and says, "I just graduated from kindergarten." And I said, "Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations." And he's kind of jumping up and down, and he's up on his toes. And he said, "It was an exercise." And he's got this childlike innocence that is so sweet. And grandma says, "Oh, you are such a darling child. Thank you for being so sweet." And grandma was reinforcing that childlike innocence. Grandma was planting seeds in that little boy, saying, yeah, hold on to that innocence. Keep that innocence at the forefront. The task of a liberated person is not to scold the world and preach to it, but to delight it back to its senses. That's Alan Watts. We have goodness at our core. Who we are is goodness. Who we are is truth and wholeness and completion. Being okay with the way things are and being okay with the way things aren't. That is who we are on the planet. And when we take responsibility and we notice and observe things like cynicism and resignation, and we gently invite those off to the side, our quality of life is huge. Even the little tiny acts of saying good morning to a child is a beautiful contribution to ourselves first, and to the little kid, and to the grandparents, and to the planet as well. See, when we share our light and our love, it goes out in an energetic field, and all beings on the planet are blessed. That's the invitation on the table, is to notice that goodness and invite the challenge areas off to the side. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Join me in prayer. As I take that big old breath, I invite you to do the same. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth if you're comfortable doing that. Let's do a couple more of those. In through the nose and out through the mouth. As I breathe, something happens inside of me. Something wakes up. Something that I call spirit or goddess or God. And I behold the same inside of you, each person watching this presentation and each person watching this recording. When you take that breath or you do what you do to get present in the moment, that oneness, that eternal divine spirit wakes up. And I claim this for this prayer, that there is an energy Even though we're on Zoom, there's an energy between all beings watching this and all beings watching this recording. There's an energy that arises when people get present in the moment and they notice that essence at their core. It blesses them and blesses all beings around them. As we move forward, hour to hour, day to day, invite forward that goodness at your core. Invite off to the side any challenge areas, any density, anything that might be a stop or a block. And dance the dance of oneness with your eternal light, your eternal beauty, your eternal grace. I give great thanks that we have this technology called affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. I'm so thankful that we can stop and take a breath and get present to our goodness. We can stop and invite off to the side challenges. And we can walk forward with presence, with goodness, sharing that with all people around us. Behind all this prayer is that beautiful mixture of love and law. And the love moves through the law and actuates it and has granted this prayer even before I said one word. This prayer is done. I give great thanks and release this prayer into that love and law now. And I invite us to say together, and so it is. This is a time in our service to give of our gifts, to give of our time or our talent or our money. See, that's part of the gig, being a human. What we put out there comes back to us. And what we put out there blesses all people around us and all organizations that we're involved with. So I invite you to give to CSL Boulder Valley. Let's say this out for an affirmation together. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive. And so it is. There's several ways to give to CSL Boulder Valley. You can give online. You can text to give. You can mail us a check. You can come to our in-person service the second Sunday of the month and give a check that way. There's also something called Tithely, and you can either do that on your phone or your app. I invite you to give. So this is the part of the service called the community connections. And this is when we get together and we hang out and we share and we laugh. Sometimes we cry. We haven't cried very much, but we've laughed a lot more than we've cried. And I invite you to go ahead and unmute yourself. As we unmute, we become more and more of a cohesive community. Those cool sounds that happen in the background are a beautiful addition.
So, James,